attracted to a gentleman that is conservative yet classy. To see him standing there, blazing in every color God created, it was almost like overkill.
Hey everybody, welcome back to 9 Day The Single Life. So today we are on episode 6 and we're going to start off with Debbie. So she's packing up to go to Miami to meet Ruben the Cuban, and she's telling us about Julian coming and that he's basically going to be like a wet blanket during the whole entire trip and is going to ruin things. But I think with how things went on her last trip, Julian definitely needs to come this time, especially to ensure her safety, you know. So they're on the plane and Debbie says she wants to report some suspicious activity and Julian already looks so done with her. So Debbie's singing in the car about Ruben, and I can't lie, she's just as annoying as me.
Ruben the Cuban, you've been my confusion, my tropical Ruben the Cuban, you've been my confusion.
If somebody did that to me, I'd be like, my ass is out of here.
Oh man, you like chipping away at my confidence.
I'm telling you the truth.
I honestly like her singing and rapping. So Julian goes into Debbie's room because Debbie wants him to check her outfit, and she looks like herself, you know. So she asks Julian how her shoes look, and Julian goes straight to how heavy are they, just in case you have to run. And I'm like, honestly, because she should be wearing some sneakers on the first date just in case things go left. But also Debbie kind of looks like a peacock, like, don't you agree? I think it's more like her fan looks like a peacock, so it's bringing everything as a look looks like a peacock. So Debbie's leaving and Julian says text me once an hour, which I think is pretty good. Like, is once an hour too much? I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense in this situation. When I grab things from like Facebook Market, I always text the family group chat like the person's address, their name, and what time I should be back, you know. So Debbie meets up with Ruben and he's just like her. Oh my gosh. And it's honestly hilarious to see it. But then what threw me off is that Debbie says that she's usually into like conservative men that have like a conservative style, and what Ruben was wearing and his colors were like an overkill. And I'm like, Debbie, have you seen yourself?
Attracted to a gentleman that is conservative yet classy. To see him standing there, blazing in every color God created, it was almost like overkill.
And I don't know, I just feel like this had to be some type of like obvious trolling, because ain't no way she just said that. So they go on a walk, and unlike Debbie, Ruben likes what he sees. So he loves that she has color and she isn't boring, and I wish Debbie didn't have like such a bad impression of Ruben, but she says she wants to give him a chance. So they go to a club and they're dancing and they're enjoying themselves, and then they sit down to relax and talk, and oh my gosh, they are literally the same people. And Debbie lets us know that it's been 14 years since she last had sex. And I'm like, what producer asked her that question? And then she said Obama. Then she said Osama tried to have sex with her several times. I'm like, oh my, good heavens. But every time he asks for sex, she would say no. And I'm just like, Houston's just out there punching the wall right now. Because remember when Kimberly would always like try to get him to like bang her, and he was like fighting for his life each time? Well, Debbie says she wants to go home, and Ruben asks her on another day for tomorrow so they can tour Miami, and Debbie accepts. Hopefully Ruben comes in like a less colorful outfit if he wants to seal the deal with Debbie. She says that she feels some sexual attraction to him, but she doesn't want to jump the gun yet. Then they have a goodnight kiss, and that's the end of her date with Ruben. Okay, now for Natalie. So remember in the last episode, Natalie auditioned in front of Josh's cousin David, and so David got her an audition spot for a role in a movie. So now Natalie's out with her mom and they're eating out together, and Natalie's mom brings up Michael again and how he treated them with kindness and even called her mommy. I'm like, oh my gosh, woman, please. Like, I know when couples break up, parents can still tend to have like a relationship with like their child's ex, but if that's so, then at least keep your child out of it, you know? Especially because it got to be so awkward for Natalie always hearing Michael's name being brought up constantly by her mother. So Natalie acknowledges that Michael will always be number one for her, aka Natalie's mom, not actually Natalie herself. And Natalie's mom said that she didn't think bad of Josh until he didn't show up at the airport. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I would be mad too, but at this point, let it go, because he has helped you and your daughter find an apartment, got your daughter a car, and now is like looking for job opportunities for her, and they aren't even married yet and he's doing all of this. Like, he's pretty good. So I just feel like it's time for her to let go of Michael and like give Josh like another chance. But then mom says it's time for Natalie to be friends with Michael, and then she says, let's call him. I'm like, lady, oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad my mom would never do this to me. So Natalie calls Michael, and not gonna lie, Michael looks so happy to see her and her mom, and they seem to have a really great relationship. They agreed to meet up for lunch, and I hope it turns out okay. Also, Natalie's still married to Michael, and I didn't even know that, but I'm guessing that's why her mom is still attached to him. So now we see Josh, and we see him hanging out with some of his friends slash colleagues. So Peyton is like the COO of Josh's company, and Ty is one of the top directors of Josh's company. And I'm like, damn, how much does Josh make? And his net worth is estimated to be $2 to $6 million. Natalie, girl, you did that. So Peyton is like, what's going on with this thing with you and Natalie? I'm like, huh? Like, why is that any of your business? But then he said like they were somewhere important, like a show or something, and Natalie's blowing up Josh's phone because she needed a ride somewhere. I'm like, oh, okay, I see the problem. But that problem was dealt with by Josh buying her a car. So nice try, Peyton. Moving on, because I can see that he's trying to make Natalie lose the bag. So Josh is trying to say that it's been hard trying to have a normal relationship, but he's trying to do his best with like the limited amount of time that he has to try to develop his relationship with her and also get her everything that she needs.
It's been really hard to have a normal relationship. My time's limited, and she's been stressed out, and she is very needy. Honestly, I just I care for her, and I'm helping her try to achieve her goals right now.
It's just starting to look really fishy.
Yeah, man.
But I don't like the look that these guys are giving him. Then they go further to insinuate that she's only using Josh to get in the industry that they're in. I'm like, why are they trying to gatekeep that industry? I'm like, what? Like, honestly, be for real. Now, I agree Natalie's a bit crazy and needy, but I don't like how his friends are bringing her up like this. They're talking to Josh and basically telling him that Natalie's only using him. And I kind of feel bad for Josh, because if Natalie's being real with him, then his friends are sabotaging the relationship. But if Natalie is just using him, then he made himself fall for a woman that didn't generally love him, but instead just loved what he had and what he could do for her, you know?
I don't know why I'm attracted to complicated women, but you know, talking with my friends, they're really like just putting it out there. As far as what I actually am doing, I'm just hoping that she wants me for me personally, not for what I have.
Okay, so Natalie and Josh's segment ends there. Now for Veronica. So Veronica and Jamal are going out to play pickleball, and Veronica brings up how she wants Jamal and Tim to not fight every time they see each other, mainly because of special events that they will both need to be in the same room for. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So she invited Tim and Louisa to come play pickleball together so they can try again. So Louisa shows up, and her and Veronica give each other big hugs. Tim shows up, and Jamal already looks like he wants to go home. Tim asks him how to even play pickleball, and Veronica says that she doesn't know, but Jamal has played before, which I think she said on a whim to get the conversation going, because literally 5 seconds before this, they were like practicing, and Veronica and Jamal tried playing, and Jamal's like, wow, we're actually good at this, which makes me think like Jamal has indeed not played pickleball before.
Wow, are we actually good at this? So I hope y'all know what you're doing. I've never even heard of this.
Jamal has apparently played. We have not.
Yeah, sure. So they start playing, and it's match point, and Tim runs into the net and knocks it down. And I'm pretty sure the producers told him to do that because it didn't look like it was an accident.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you okay?
I'm good. I thought that was bolted in.
So him and Jamal were able to get it back up, and Veronica asked Louisa to go get water with her, leaving Jamal and Tim all by themselves. Okay, I see what you did there, Veronica. So Jamal apologizes to Tim, and it was very mature of him. Tim also apologizes back to Jamal. He also said that Veronica tends to get in bad relationships, and he has to be the one to pick up the pieces. So that's why he feels so protective over her. And if that's the case, then yeah, I kind of get where he's coming from. So they were able to squash the beef and even do a nice little handshake at the end. So now it's later that night, and everybody's going out to eat at like a double date type of thing. Tim and Louisa get there first, and in their interview thing, Tim says that there won't be a problem if Jamal doesn't start anything. I'm like, oh, okay. So they get there, and the menu comes, and Tim doesn't know how he likes his fillets. So he says that Veronica should know and wants her to basically order for him. And Louisa and Jamal are looking like, what the fuck? And you know what? Even Veronica is looking at him like, what the fuck?
You want me to order for you? Medium well.
Medium well, okay.
It's just kind of a strange thing to do in front of a potential partner. I thought, you know, as a grown man, you know how you like your steak cooked. And the more I think about it, I'm like, what the f? Oh, it's weird to me.
And I have to agree with Jamal, because how don't you know as a grown man how you want your food? And especially in front of your date. Jamal asks them if they're going exclusive, and Tim is like, we're just testing the waters and seeing how it's going. And I'm like, oh, how the tables have turned, Tim. Louisa pipes up and says that they're kind of like friends. And in her interview, she expresses how she wants Tim to touch her and show her affection, but he doesn't really give it to her. And I'm like, damn, because didn't he have this problem with another one of his exes? Well, Tim explains that he doesn't like kissing because he needs to do it when it feels right.
He loves to compare us a lot, I've noticed.
That's normal in them. He do the same.
But we do kiss, so there's that.
We do kiss.
So Veronica tries to comfort Louisa, but in Spanish, and says that things will get better, and if she feels uncomfortable, then she should just tell her, Veronica, and not him, Tim. And that even if things look weird, it's really not. And then Jamal is like, he wants to be in on the conversation because they're speaking in another language, and it's keeping him out the loop. And you can kind of see with his frustration with the whole thing. And Veronica is like, well, it's a girl-to-girl type of conversation. And then Jamal just had enough, and it's like, you're trying to tell her it's not weird when it is.
I want to know what's being said.
Fill you in later.
Isn't that like weird though? I have to say it, like you're getting like a lesson of Tim by his ex. She's trying to assure you it's not going to be weird, but it is going to be weird.
And it just gets super awkward, and I feel like this relationship is just crumbling. So that's where Derek's segment ends. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know some of your thoughts in the comments below. Not gonna lie, a lot of the comments be hilarious to read. If you want to watch more, I have a whole playlist of 9 Days The Single Life. Thanks for watching. Bye.